In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your high pressure fuel pump on your Ford Focus. It's located next to your valve cover. So we're going to pull this fuse right here, at 20, and then that will help us depressurize the fuel system before doing this high pressure fuel pump. You're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers and just pull that fuse out. I'm underneath the passenger side kick panel. There should be a kick panel that you have to take down. It's only 2 fasteners. This car's missing it. I'm going to need a pair of needle nose pliers or something equivalent to them to take out this fuse. Alright, now that we've taken out that fuse for the fuel pump to depressurize the system, we're going to turn the key on and try to start the vehicle several times. It should run for a little bit, and then once it's out of fuel in the system, it will shut off. So now that the car's run out of gas and it stopped running, we're just going to crank it over a few more times. Alright, now you know that it's no more fuel in the system. Now you're going to want to disconnect your negative battery terminal. I'm using a 10mm socket. Negative battery terminal is in the back. After you loosen it, you're going to pull it off and set it off to the side, away from anything metal. Alright, now that we've relieved the pressure in the system and our battery's disconnected, we're going to take off our passenger side front wheel so we can access the crank. You're going to need a 21mm socket and a ratchet. And just rest that on with the handle going towards the passenger side door of your ratchet so that you can access it from the top of the engine and grab down and pull up to turn the crank clockwise to make sure that the high pressure fuel pump is sitting in there correctly. We'll get to that later. So that's what you need. You need a socket, 21mm, and a ratchet to be able to turn the crank clockwise. Using a 19mm socket, we're going to remove our wheel. Once you have that stuff all set up, we're going to go over here and we're going to take off this little cover. Just pull it off, set it aside, and here's our high pressure fuel pump. We're going to disconnect this from its holder, set it aside. You may have to disconnect it back here as well. Just want that to be able to move out of your way. We're going to take this connector off, push in on this tab in the back. Pull it off. We have a fuel line here and a quick connect here. While we're disconnecting these fuel lines, I want you to put a rag over your lines just in case there is any gas trapped in there. Take out this lock. Pull it out. To disconnect this, you're going to push in on the tab on the bottom, put a rag over it, and pull the line out. If your lock falls off, that's no big deal. You can just get it later. Put a rag around it so it doesn't drip everywhere. I'm going to use a 17mm wrench, loosen up that fitting. Get another rag. And disconnect the fuel line. Now we're ready to take out these 2 bolts. So when removing this, it's good to go a little at a time, go back and forth on it, and we're going to install it the same way. I'm going to use a 10mm socket. Loosen it. Just back it off a little at a time on both sides. Once you see it come loose like that, then you can just go ahead and take the bolts out. I'm going to remove it. Now at this point you want to take out this. This little guy rides on top of that cam, and you just want to inspect it, make sure everything's looking all right. You know what, you're looking for flat spots and such. Make sure you put some oil over your roller before putting it back in. This would be a good time to inspect it and make sure everything looks good. It's not worn anywhere. Once you're done doing that, you can put the oil on the O-ring as well. Let's place this inside where it lives. I'm going to put it back in. It only fits one way. There's little slots on the sides. So this rides on top of the cam. We're going to make sure that this is sitting at the lowest point possible when installing our high pressure fuel pump. If you try to install it when that cam lobe is up, it's going to break. It's not going to be good. So I have my socket and ratchet on my crank. At this point you can have a friend help you. Just turn the crank clockwise and you get to watch that thing go up and down the roller inside where the high pressure fuel pump lives. Or you can set up a mirror like I have here, and I'm just going to watch it with the mirror. Alright, so once you see that thing going on its way down, you're going to stop when it hits all the way down. If you see it go up a tiny bit, that's when you need to stop. So we're going to stop here, and then we're going to put our high pressure fuel pump in. Alright, use a rag, clean your surface. Next, you're going to put oil on your O-ring. And we're going to have it line up and sit it down. At this point, you're going to press down on it to make sure it goes all the way down. Now we're going to line up our bolts and get them started. So put your bolts down as far as they go without being tightened. You're going to walk them back and forth. should be able to do this by hand, going back and forth. If you can't, then your crank needs to be rotated more. Okay, so that's flush. And now we're going to do the torque sequence. Once that's flush, we're going to do stage 1 of the tightening sequence. That'll be 177 inch-pounds for each bolt. I'm still going to walk it back and forth until I feel like it's pretty snug. I have my torque wrench set. That's 177. Go another eighth after you do 177 inch-pounds. Now we can connect our connector. Just push it on, make sure you hear that click. And we're going to start our fuel line. Make sure that your line is flush and lined up properly and also seated in there. And then use your fitting to tighten it down and to hold it still. Now we're going to tighten up our line and torque it to 133 inch-pounds. 133 inch-pounds first. And then you got to go another eighth of a turn. Now you're going to put your lock on. That'll hold it on. Now we're going to put our cover on. Put this hose back in. Should just clip in back here too. Now we can take the ratchet and socket off our crank. Now we're going to put our fuse back. I'm going to go to the very tippity top here. Push it in. Put your wheel on. And you're going to start your lug nuts by hand. Tighten them up. I usually go for the bottom one first and just hold it in. Walk the wheel on. Now we can torque them. Using a 19mm socket, we're going to torque our wheels to 100 foot-pounds. We're going to do that in a star-like pattern. Now you can put your negative terminal back on. Also, if your kick panel was on your car, you're going to want to reinstall that using the two fasteners. Ours is missing, so we had nothing to install. Snug it up. Make sure nothing's moving. All right, so now we're inside the car and we're going to cycle the key off and on a few times to prime the system. So you're not going to try to start it right away. You're just going to turn the key on, hear that fuel pump kick on in the tank a few times. I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna try to start it. Looks like it's running good. Take it for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.